All right, so with that very James Gunny voice or joke out of the way, and
Yeah.
James, if you want to borrow that one, go for it.
Yeah.
Let's move on to Daniel's solo review.
Yes.
Sooner or
I
later, everyone has to find out about Tech Wars.
yes. Yeah. So I listened to the audio version of TekWar, which is from the mind of William Shatner.
Is it read
Uh,
by William Shatner?
it's not. It's read by
Oh,
somebody else.
boo.
I know. Yeah, I was disappointed with that. Because I've listened to other audio books from him, and yeah, it's entertaining to listen to him. But no, this the narrator on this one kind of made it sound like yeah, he's kind of like a gruff detective, like film noir detective kind of style narration. Um, but yeah, so Tech War is about. Uh, oh, it's kind of hard for me to describe it. Um, uh, but it's so tech is basically so it takes place in the future. It's 2045. Keep in mind, Shatner came up with the idea for this in the late 80s, uh, when just as he was about done with Star Trek, and he needed something to another franchise to pay his bills, and so he came up with this, and he wanted to do something that was kind of like in between Star Trek and TJ Hooker, which was, for those of you who don't know, TJ Hooker was a cop show that Shatner was on back in the mid to late, or like late 70s, early 80s. Um, and so in this future like cyberpunk-esque world, you have this it's kind of like it's a drug called tech, and it's basically but it's not like your average drug. You wear a wear a headset, and it's like a a program, and you plug yourself into like a fantasy world that you want to live in, and it's highly addictive. And so the main character in the book series, his name is Jake Cardigan, and at the start of the novel, he's in prison. He's in a cryosleep prison on a space station that they call the Freezer, and it's sort of like Demolition Man, where he's that's part of the prison sentence, is being in cryostasis. The only difference is, like in Demolition Man, they're actually still conscious, and they could they could see and hear everything that was going on, and they were getting like this rehabilitation program put into them. If you remember our review of Demolition Man, like Sylvester Stallone's character like learned how to sew, and then Wesley Snipes' character learned all this like combat stuff and hacking and everything. But that's not in this. In this, you're just put in cryo sleep, and then when your prison sentence is over, they wake you up. And Jake Cardigan is in this cryo prison because he was for dealing in tech. He is a tech addict, but he's in prison up there for dealing tech. Even though he was actually framed, he was set up. He didn't do it, but he gets sent into this prison for 15 years. But he gets woken up after 4 years, and he's woken up because there's a case that he's woken up by this private detective agency called Cosmos, and he's assigned to looking for these two scientists, as a father and a daughter, uh, and they're somewhere in Mexico, and part of the whole thing is that there's this revolutionary leader. She goes by the name War Bride, and Jake is like an old lover of hers, and so he's got to go into Mexico to find these two scientists, and it gets really just convoluted. Like the whole the whole plots and subplots just get very interwoven, and it's kind of just like this one big like mess of like it's okay. So like Shatner's writing style is very, he likes to put in, he's very wordy. And he likes to put in a lot of details that you don't really necessarily need.
So like sort of a classic purple prose first time writing, wanting to get everything across type.
Basically, yeah, pretty much, yeah. And the the dialogue in it is just uh like nails on a chalkboard at times. It's just oh, like um the I will say the overall premise isn't bad. Like, I mean, the universe that he set up is an interesting one. Um, there are some things I would do differently. Well, like having having more consequences for using tech. Like, now keep in mind, I only did the first book, so I haven't read any of the other ones. I think they're like, I can't remember how many books are in this series. Um, like health consequences for doing it, like psychological or physical, because it's not really established like why tech is so bad, other than it's just it's like it's taking you out of reality, I guess. um
That kind of shows you how societal expectations have kind of changed. It's like it would be like, oh, I don't know, it's a drug that makes you commit adultery. That's inherently bad. You have somebody who's just like, what's wrong with cheating? What?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, that's definitely a good way of looking at it. The other part of it too is, so while Jake was in prison, his wife divorced him, and of course, and she moved to Mexico with their son. Uh, and there's this whole kind of like thing where he's trying to find his wife, and then but she doesn't want to be found, and there's this whole subplot where he discovers that she was actually having an affair with her boss, and then when he got sent to prison, she went back to his boss, and it's just kind of an odd like little drama there. Overall, it's just, I mean, like I said, I like the concept. I like the universe they set up. Like, they don't live in, it's not LA, it's greater Los Angeles, GLA. So I'm assuming it's like, so this is like
Greater LA or whatever.
Yeah, greater LA. So it's like, I mean, like Pasadena and Santa Monica, Anaheim, all the above, Malibu. But I mean, it was really hard for me to, it was really hard for me to get into the story, because it was just like okay, like why, why should I care about these two scientists? Like, what's so important about it? Why is it so important to stop this virtual reality drug from getting out? The other part of it too is, at the beginning of the novel, Jake uses tech, and then his old partner, his partner shows up and snaps him out of it, and his addiction to tech is never brought up again. They just kind of forget about it.
So there are people who can use it without becoming completely enthralled with it.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Yeah, or Shatner didn't really make that clear, in the writing it. So yeah, but yeah, I can't say I recommend it. At least not the novel. There are other forms of this story in media. I mean, there was a TV series that was on in, I want to say, like the late 90s, and I think that's the poster that we see on there. That's for the TV show. Shatner actually, when he wrote the story, he wanted to play Jake Cardigan in any kind of like movie or TV show adaptation. But by the time they got around to making it, he was too old to play the character. So then he ended up playing the boss. I haven't seen the TV show, so I can't comment on that. There's also like a comic book series. I don't know if that's still in print or not.
Yeah, I saw some covers for that when I was looking for this image.
Yeah.
So what it kind of sounds like is it's sort of a middling product where it makes sense why in that episode of The Simpsons it ended up on the bookshelf along with a lot of other weird books that the school would have had just fallen into the school's lap, I should say.
Yes, yeah, definitely, yeah. And Principal Skinner, like, well, children need to learn about TekWar sooner or later. Not really. And it kind of pains me to say that because I like William Shatner.
No, he's a national treasure. Which nation? U.S. or Canada? Yes, yes to both.
Yes,
and I will selfishly say that I hope that he wins his death grudge with George Takei, because I do not want George Takei to get the last word on him. And by the way, that's my theory for how those two men have managed to live for so long. Like when other members of the Star Trek crew have sadly passed away, even though they were younger.
Yeah.
Is that the mutual antipathy that those two men have for one another just sustains them.
Yes. Yeah. But yeah, I can't really necessarily recommend the book. And I probably won't be listening to any of the other audio versions of the rest of the series. So